Check this bike out. This is probably the cleanest bike I've ever picked up. It is immaculate. All original condition. This is a 1966 Yamaha YM1. 305cc, parallel twin, 2-stroke. In excellent condition. I mean, take a look at the seat. No rips in the seat. No dents in the gas tank. Gauge is perfect. All the chrome is perfect. All the paint is immaculate. The frame has no specks of paint missing. Everything is here. It looks amazing. But anyway, this was bought from an old lady. She had stored this in her basement for 30 plus years. She actually bought it new in 1966 to ride to work and back. And she put, let's see how many miles, 12,215 miles on it. Check out this gauge, by the way. You've got mile per hour at the top, and then you've got the RPM at the bottom. And then you've got the trip in the middle. Super cool gauge. But I mean, check this thing out. It is perfect. So she took extremely good care of this bike. Storing it in the basement obviously wasn't a bad thing. There's basically zero rust on it, zero paint missing, and it just looks amazing. The camera does not do this bike justice. I couldn't believe it when I saw it in person. It's basically immaculate for being 1966. But anyway, she couldn't ride it anymore, decided to sell it, and I got this bike for $1,500 with a clean title. I don't think I've ever seen a 1966 bike this clean before without being restored. So it is an extremely rare bike to find in this condition. These bikes were produced from 1964 to 1966. This is the later model being the 1966. So it's a pretty good year for this bike. It's got the steering dampener on it. Does have a battery right here. The original straps are still on there. It's got the dual Mikuni carbs. And yeah, everything else is on the bike. So obviously this bike is going to have to be gone through completely after not running for 30 plus years. So the goal for today is going to be to get this bike up, running and driving by the end of the video. Hopefully it has compression, hopefully it still has spark, and we can make it happen today. Let's get this thing off the trailer, start working on it, see what we find. I'm really excited to work on this one. Alright, little walk around here. I mean, she's pretty clean. I don't think you'd ever find a cleaner one in original condition like this. I really like the gauge a lot. I think it's nice. So super cool looking bike. Well, we got this bike in the garage. Let's start digging into it. See if we can get this bike to run today. So let's check out the gas tank first. See how rusty that is. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, a little rusty there. She's crunchy, for sure. Oh, that's really rough. Man, that is some heavy rust in there. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, there's gas in there still. Look at that. From like 30 years ago. Oh boy. Look at this rust coming off of here. Oh, big flakes coming off. That is crazy. So, gas tank looks good on the outside. Doesn't look too good on the inside. Alright, I'm curious if it goes for the gears. I believe it's a standard shift pattern, 1 down, 4 up. Let's see. Yep. Neutral, second. third, fourth. Uh-oh. Fifth. Okay. Alright, shifts through all the gears pretty smoothly, so that checks out. Alright, came with a keychain here with a bunch of different keys on it. Got that key, this key, and then the locking key. So I believe this is the ignition key. And there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 different positions for the key. Just gonna leave that one in there. I think the other key is probably for the seat. Not seeing if there's a lock on the seat at all. I don't think there is. I'm not sure what the other key would be for. You've got the pentagon grips here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided grips. Kind of unique, aren't they? They're pretty cool. You can see made in Japan right there. Alright, we're gonna check the oil next. I believe the fill cap is right there. It's hard to find any information on this bike. Let's get that off and just see. I don't believe there's a dipstick on here. We'll see here. Well, we'll stick a dipstick down there and just see if we get any oil. Should be interesting. I can feel the transmission gears. Oh yeah. Looks like brand new oil in there. Huh. So there is oil. I don't know where the check bolt is or how you know how much oil is supposed to be in there because there's no marking on the case anywhere. But it looks like a healthy amount of oil in there. And it's very clear. So I'm guessing the lady that used to ride this thing probably did an oil change before storing it for so long. Alright, we're gonna try to get the gas tank off and the seat off. I believe the seat is just bolted on right here. Possibly right there. So let's try to get that off first. I think you need to take the seat off to get the gas tank off. Here's what that seat looks like. Look how nice that is. Looks brand new. Alright, let's take a look. I think that fender will clean up. We've got the horn here. Got a fuse. I believe this is the positive and negative wire. So this one connects to the positive. This one probably connects to the negative on the battery. And this one probably goes to ground somewhere, I'm guessing. Here's the strap for the battery. Still intact, so that just goes like that. Holds the battery tight. So I'm guessing this is a 6-volt system. There's no electric start on this bike. I believe there's lights, horn. I think that's it. Oh, throttle does move. That's good. Means the slides aren't stuck in the carbs. You've got a little air box here. Looks like 2 separate air boxes for this thing. So there's just circular filters in there. And that's mounted with a bracket back here and some clamps. The gas tank has a crossover tube right there. Oh, this one's got a pump. Cool. Look at this. The old tire pump. In case your tire went flat. That's really cool. I wonder if that still works. We gotta test that out quick. So imagine you're off driving on a country road, your tire goes flat, and the only way to pump it up is this hand pump. Let's see if this thing's gonna work. Let's just see. You can feel it. I think it's working. Takes a lot of pumping though. I don't know if that's working. Maybe the tire is just bad. I feel air coming out of it. This tire could just be leaking pretty bad. But that's pretty cool to be included with the bike. You don't see that every day. So old tire pump with the little cap still on there. I think in here would be where the toolkit would be in like the manual. So let's see if anything's in there. This should be interesting. Lucky. Let's see. Ah, nothing in there. Darn. I'm guessing that's where the toolkit would be, the manual would be. Somebody beat us to it, took it out. I'm wondering if the lady took it out to use one time, forgot to put it back in there. But that's pretty cool. That's a big area for keeping tools and stuff in. That is pretty cool. I wish the toolbox was still in there. Working getting these gas lines off. I'll see what this old gas looks like in here. Got that one off. These lines are pretty hardened up. Makes this line soft again here. Let's see. Yeah. So we'll keep the old clamp. You can see the gas line's getting soft. Get the clamp off here first. Clamp off of here. And this pull out. Alright, there's a separate pod for the airbox. And the other one's coming off here. Through. All right, both are out. So that one's the left one. Keep those separate. Still kind of hard to get to. There's no way you're clamping those with your fingers either. There we go. Hopefully soften that up. Let's see. Oh yeah, that got pretty softened up. Let's see if anything comes out of the gas tank here. There's no way. It's gonna be disgusting looking gas if it does come out. Let's see here. Not seeing anything come out. Guessing that's all clogged up. But there was some in there. Yeah, nothing's coming out. It's probably really gummed up in there. Yeah, nothing. Alright, get this gas tank off. There's a bolt right here. They come off. It's got a little lock on there. There's a crossover line that goes underneath this bar here. So you need this off to get the gas tank off. Some fluid come out. So far, nothing. Ooh, yo, look at that. That is a 30-year-old premix there. I better go get my other container here before that fills all the way up. I'll let that drain out. Check how dark that is. Wow, does that smell strong. Oh, we'll let that drain out for a bit. Now we've got access to the coils here. You can see this coil goes to the right hand side, this one to the left. And you've got your throttle tube here. And we've got access to both cylinders and the plugs. So let's get the spark plugs out, see what those look like. Ooh, the plugs were loose in there. Let's see what these look like. At one point it was running perfect. They're pretty brown, but I don't think this thing's been started in over 30 years, so I don't know what the condition of these cylinders are gonna look like. Yep, that one's just hand tight as well. Let's see what this plug looks like. Looks like it was running pretty good at one point. Let's get some Marble Mystery Oil going down the cylinders, just to lube those up a little bit. All right, we're gonna see if this thing kicks over smooth. Here we go. Feels pretty smooth. That return spring is really powerful. Put a little bit more down there. These are probably really dry from sitting so long. It doesn't hurt to have a little extra in there. Pretty dang smooth. I think the next step is going to be to hook up a battery to it and see if we get any spark here. Alright, so here's a 6-volt battery, 5 amp hours. Put that right in there. We got these wires to connect to here. That's for positive, this is for negative. Alright, so this is going to go to the negative right here on the battery. Just like that. This one will connect to the positive. And you don't want to ground that out. Alright, battery's hooked up. See if anything happens when you turn the key. I doubt it will. Oh, yep, we've got a light right there. There's the headlight. Cool. And we have power. See if the horn works. That's pretty cool. That is a cool sounding horn. That is funny. Alright, well, moment of truth. Will we have spark? Here we go. Oh yeah. Really, really good spark on this cylinder. Wow, is that good spark. That is crazy. All right, all we need is spark on this cylinder and we should be in business. Let's see what we get. Oh man, look how good that spark is. Wow, is that good. All right, let's see if it's consistent though. Every kick, getting spark. That looks pretty good to me. I was really not expecting to get spark on this thing right away like that. I just want to take a peek underneath this cover. I believe it's the points cover going on underneath here. So obviously the points are clean. Yeah, look at that. Let's take a peek underneath here and see what those look like. Look at that. So you've got your points right here and right here. And those are producing really good spark. So you turn this thing over, let's see if they spark at all. Those points. Doesn't look like it. So condenser should be good. But if we didn't have spark, we'd be cleaning these points here. Right here. And then right here. This one will flip up here like that. So you just clean up those points. But we have great sparks, so we're not gonna mess with them. All right, let's see what we get for compression here. So this bike should have over 120 PSI. This bike will probably run on about 90 PSI. It's a 2-stroke, so it doesn't take much, but anything under 120 is probably gonna run kind of crappy. So we're looking for anything over 120, we should be good. So we're looking for in this range here. See what we get. Rod will open. That feels like a lot. Oh, that is a ton of compression. 180 PSI. All right, I think we're good for compression on the right side. That is amazing. All right. So we had 180 on the right. Let's see what we get on the left. All right, throttle open. We'll kick away here, see what we get. About 180. So both cylinders are about the same. That is perfect. So we officially have spark and compression. All we need is fuel. And there's 2 carbs on this one, so let's get these carbs out. These look pretty tiny. All right, so it looks like there's a little cotter pin here. We can pull out for the choke linkage. Just let that one flop there. Not the easiest nuts to get to here. Good. Carb is off. O-ring is still on there. Take a look at the slide here. Looks good. All right, 1 carb off. That one is the right side carb. All right. Slide looks pretty good. All right, there's the left carb. Before we start taking a peek at the carbs, let's take a look at the air filters here. So I believe these come off here. I wonder if you can still buy air filters for these bikes. Guessing probably not. Look at that. That's gotta be the original filter. Doesn't look horrible. It's not dirty. Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. So I'm guessing this one looks the exact same. Yeah, you can kind of see it in there. So we're just gonna leave those the same. They don't look bad. We'll get these back on here. All right, we're starting with the right carb first. Let's see how bad these look on the inside. What does a carb look like after sitting for 30 plus years? We're gonna find out right now. Here we go. Oh, it's not horrible. A little gunk in the bottom, but not absolutely horrible. Looks like just some oil just put down in there. A little premix. That won't take a ton to clean. That looks pretty good. I think that jet's clogged right there. We may have to let these sit in the ultrasonic cleaner for a little bit. Get off all the gunk. But it's really not horrible. Alright. Taking a look at the float. See if the pin will come out. Oh, it slides right out. Look at that. So we can check for pinholes in the float here. Is there one right there? I don't feel any gas in there. So far that looks pretty good. Not bad. Alright, you've got the needle coming out. Looks pretty good. And then you've got the seat. No imperfections there. Main jet. See if we're running for the main. Looks like an 80 main. That was pretty clogged. There's the pilot. Yeah, that's heavily clogged. Running a 25 for the pilot. Just a little guy. Clean that out good. And you've got your air screw here. See me turns out. Exactly one turn out on the air screw. So air screw looks good. The rest of the carb looks pretty decent. Not really seeing anything wrong with it at all. Make sure this choke is working. Yep. So we're just gonna let this thing soak in the ultrasonic cleaner for a little bit, and then we'll start working on the next carb. All right, let's take a look at the left-hand carb. Same thing as the right side. A little bit of gunk in the bottom. Nothing horrible. Let's see if this port's open here. That might be clogged up a little bit too. Alright. See what the float looks like here. Ooh, that pin might be stuck. See if they run the same size main jet. Alright, this one is going to be an 80. So it is the same size main. What about the pilot? Pilot is clogged. 25, so same pilot as well. The right hand side What was one turnout? About one. Pretty close to one. So when we reset these, we'll set them to 1, both sides. We've got our punch here. Let's see if it can do the job here. Haha. Got that one out. This thing has saved me so much time. Float looks pretty good. And then your needle looks really good. Tip is still nice and pointy. And your seat doesn't have any gunk in it. Looks good, so we can let these soak. All right, both carbs are out of the ultrasonic cleaner. See the bowl's cleaned up nice. And everything is clean inside the carb here. Outside the carb turned out really good. So these are all cleaned up, ready to go. We can get these all assembled and we can reinstall them. All right, both carbs looking brand new. Let's reinstall these back onto the bike. All right, carburetor's looking good back on the bike. Let's start working on this gas tank. We got this on the bench. Let's take a look at the Petcock first. Let's see what this looks like here. Oh, it's pretty loose on there. It's not horrible. Little O-ring there. With the filter. A little gunk in here. Probably let that sit in the ultrasonic cleaner for a bit. Get all that out. Take those off. I think that's budging. Looks like those have silicone around it. Luckily they're not stripped out. I don't think they've ever been off before. Ooh, it ate right through that filter piece. Look at that, just completely gone. Must be in here. Just broke right off. Might have to let that sit in the ultrasonic cleaner for a bit. Check this out. See all rust here. So that is completely clogged up. Basically disintegrating here. Man, oh man. Alright, so we can actually open this up, see what's going on. These little screws come off here. You can see it's all clogged up in there. So each of these holes should be open. They're completely plugged up. Let that sit in the ultrasonic cleaner. Hopefully that softens up. So that goes through. kind of goes through, that one goes through, and then it goes through to here. So all these passageways are clogged. All right, Petcock came out of the ultrasonic cleaner. I was able to clean out all these ports. They look really good. And then I fitted up a filter here on one of these pegs. So this one was originally the reserve. This one was not reserve. So right now the filter's on reserve. As long as we don't get rust to cover this whole filter, we should be fine. So we'll see. But the bowl looks good. This filter looks good. O-ring softened up a little bit. This is pretty soft now. So everything's cleaned out. Looking really good. So we can get everything back on the tank. So let's get this back on. So this is going to go on right here. Get our bowl on. Hopefully this one still seals. Feels pretty good. Well, hopefully that works. We'll get some new lines on it. Yeah. That's kind of loose in there, which is fine for now. We can tighten that up after we get the lines on. But we can cut the line. So, let's see, with the filter in there, we probably want it to be right around here. So we're going to cut this right here and put a filter. Alright, so arrow is going this way. Just have another line. Can get this all the way off and better on there. Alright, so now just for a fitment, that one's going to there. That one looks good. Just a little bit off of this one. Alright. And then we'll do the other one. All right, we've got filters, new gas lines, and Petcock all cleaned out. Who thinks it's gonna leak? All right, we mixed up some 481. Let's get that in there. Let's see if the Petcocks can work here. Alright, we're going to turn it to, I think, reserve. Nothing's flowing. Not a good sign. Oh, there's some gas coming down. Woo! Look at that. They're filling up. Cannot believe that's working. No leaking from the Petcock either. Yet. Or the crossover tube. We're getting pretty lucky here. Alright, will the carbs leak? Hope not. Everything's filling up. Alright, looks like the gas stopped in the right hand carb. Nothing leaking. Wow, alright, so that's working. Alright, well, we're getting good fuel to the carbs. Carbs are all cleaned out. We've got oil in it. We've got 40-to-1 gas mixture in it. And we've got spark and compression. So there's no reason this thing shouldn't fire up. This will be the first start in 30 years. So let's see what happens. I'm excited. How many kicks will it take? Choke is on. That's on. Here we go. Kick is over here. Sounds awesome. Look at that. Sounds pretty good. Holy cow. Pipes are cleared out now. Idle is perfect now. You adjust the idle right here on the carb. It's running perfect. Couple leaks. Looks like from the pipe here. And over on this side, we've got a leak. Looks like the kickstart gasket's coming out. And that gets to the pipe down here. So there's probably just oil in the pipe burning off. Yeah, Petcock's working great. Listen to that idle. It is perfect. Doesn't get much better than that. Idling at about $2 grand. Idle comes right back down. I love that gauge. Not bad. After sitting for 30 years. Not bad at all. Purring like a kitten. Well, she sounds amazing. No leaking from anywhere on the gas tank or the petcock or the carbs. We're getting consistent flow from the tank, so I think that filter I put in there is helping a lot. I mean, it could not sound better than it does. Wow, does that sound good. Gotta love the sound of a two-stroke. I mean, that sounds awesome. 1966, sitting 30 years and just fired right up. Huh. That is a sweet, sweet sound. So I think we can put everything back on it, the seat, bolt down the tank, and take this thing for the first ride. I'm hoping it shifts here. All right, it's currently negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see how this bike likes the cold. First kick, not bad. Alright, everything is ice on the driveway. So hopefully we can find a clear spot here. Alright, let's just see if it moves first before we really test drive it. clutch doesn't want to work. So we're gonna let this bike warm up for a bit. See if those clutch plates loosen up a little bit. Alright, well, she moves. The front tire's flat though. I tried pumping it up, won't pump up, so we'll take it slow, but we'll give this thing a nice test drive. Get this thing fired up. There's a million geese flying over right now. Slippery this stuff is. the first ride on the 1966 Yamaha YM1 went really, really well. We weren't able to go too fast. The front tire's flat. I think the tube is popped in the front tire. And obviously it's negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit and the roads are complete ice. So I didn't want to crash this thing first ride and damage the pipe or the gas tank. So we took it pretty slow. We were able to get up to 40 miles an hour though. And the speedo works, tack works great. Very smooth. The front brakes worked. The rear brakes worked. All the lights are working perfect, low and high beam. And it now starts up every kick, even in negative 10 degree Fahrenheit weather. So check this out. I mean, every time. So our Petcock fix worked. No leaking out of there at all. Gas is still flowing good. No oil leaks anymore. I think the pipes had a little oil in them from when I put the oil down the cylinders. So this bike is basically good to go. All we need for it is the front tire fixed. So probably just get a new front tire. Probably a rear as well. They're both pretty dry rotted. And then obviously the tank needs to be cleaned out properly. There's still a lot of rust in the tank. But the Petcock is working great, not leaking at all. And the rest of the bike is good to go. So this one is pretty much done. Didn't take a whole lot today. Basically a couple carb cleans, the gas tank cleaned out, new fuel, and this thing fired right up after 30 years. So definitely fun working on this bike. And this one's a really, really fun one to ride. These bikes are supposed to go right around 100 miles an hour. So they're fast enough for the highway, but small enough to just putz around on, which is really, really fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed picking this thing up for 1,500 bucks, diagnosing it, going through everything, doing the first start and the first ride. Definitely fun working on these old bikes. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are out.